Hey y'all, I'm back with my little Singer Featherweight that I unboxed a couple of days ago. And usually I dive in and I start to clean a machine, but I thought some people might be interested to see a little closer up what all is here. So I'm going to start with the case and we'll probably end with the case. First thing here is the leather handle with its D-rings. I had an older Featherweight in the past that had a leather handle that just wasn't in really good shape. It was actually deteriorated. This one is in actually pretty good shape, you know, other than here on the very edges. Next thing's the hinges. I see a lot of people do this. I'm not a fan of this, but I will show you one time that. These springs are old. They can get rusty. They can get weak. So what I like to do is put your finger over this part, push the button to the right, and slowly let it come up. Same thing when you close them, just real gentle, and then one at a time. That's just me though, you know. So I'm going to open the top, and when I mentioned treasure the other day, I was talking about all these goodies in this tray. I feel like when you get a old sewing machine and you get these kind of things, that you get a little peek into the last owner's life or the previous owner's life a little bit. And so we're going to look at some of the stuff in the tray. Of course, some little spools of thread. And we had this little thread tucked away in there. And they were saving it for something, you know, like my grandparents' generation that grew up during the Depression. They save stuff like this because they might need it sometime. Got a piece of this gauzy looking fabric with a upholstery needle, a used sewing machine needle. Again, they saved it because they might need it sometime. I know some people swear that they have lucky needles and they'll save a particular needle that worked really good in their sewing machine because it's their lucky needle. Several bobbins in here. A ruffler attachment, and I'll list the attachment numbers, the Singer Simanco numbers, in the comments below or the description. So that's the ruffler. Hammer foot. What they call the adjustable hammer. You see a lot of the black side adjustable hammers. This is the wide zipper foot. It says complete on it in USA. I don't know if anybody can see that, but the number that's on it goes with the Singer or Simanco part number for a wide zipper foot. Got your narrow hammer foot, and it's a black side as well. I don't know, see the little slot, your raw edge would go in there and start hemming. Binder foot. It's also black side where it attaches to the machine. I'm actually going to try to use this binder foot, or I think I'm going to try to use it as time allows. On one of my newer machines, I used a plastic generic binder foot on some kitchen curtains I made a few weeks ago. I wasn't real happy with it, so I'd like to try this slotted binder and just see how it works. This is a bias tape guide, and it is also black side. It's got some letters on it. This is the piece I was saying that I need to read and find out how to use. And we'll talk about that some more in a little bit, about how you can find out how to use these attachments. This is what they call a shearing or a gathering foot. It's also black side. I'm not sure that it's ever been used. It's kind of hard to tell. It's possible that it was used. Have the small and large screwdrivers here. They're both black side. And they also have the part numbers on them. So I'll list those in the description too. I have seen these in pictures with other vintage sewing machines. I'm thinking it's kind of like a stiletto. I'm not sure. Somebody might want to comment and kind of let me know. I've never had one before. There's a spool spring down in there. Put on your spool pin. An extra felt. It's pretty dirty. If I can't clean it up, it's probably going to go bye-bye. But I like to keep things, so I may clean it up and just leave it in the tray. Oh, I found another foot here. This is, let me see what this is called. This is the edge stitcher foot. And again, that's another attachment with the black side piece here. Edger foot's another foot that I need to read about, you know, how you use it, what it's used for. We've got this little guy, and some of you may recognize it. It is a blade that goes in a Singer tool that you can use to rip out seams when you make a mistake and you need to take something out. I've got one of those tools and I'll show it in a later video. It's a pretty neat little tool. We have an envelope here. I'm told these were original envelopes that came with the Featherweights with their keys. And we'll look at the keys a little bit later. I'll set them aside. Needle threader. I think everybody, probably's mother or grandmother, had these in their little sewing box. And we have a tube here of Singer motor lube. Now the bottom's out of the box, but I'm going to keep it. I won't use it because it's so old, but the label's coming off of it. You can see it. It's seen better days, but I'll keep it. I like to keep little things like this. Got some needles here. They're new. They're in a plastic case. I zoomed in on them to see if they're Singer, but they're not marked Singer, so they're generic of some kind. Have the manual here. The manual, while it's dusty, it doesn't show a lot of wear. I don't think whoever had this machine didn't use the manual, didn't refer to it a lot, but we'll look back at it in a minute. It looks really good. Okay, I'm going to set the tray aside with the treasure, and I'm going to pull the machine out. First thing I'm going to pull out is the pedal. It's dirty. It needs to be cleaned. That's the bottom, but its feet look good. I'm not going to replace those. As I'm going through here, I'm kind of just doing a mental inventory of the things I'm going to need to do and have to clean the machine. Like I said, I usually jump in and start cleaning on a machine, but I thought you guys might want to look. You know, there's actually what activates your pedal. The cords, while they look a little dirty, they are soft. They're not cracked. They're not hard. There's the plug-in receptacle, and we'll look at where that goes in a minute. I'm thankful I don't have to rewire this machine. I did rewire a Singer 66 a few weeks back, and I'm going to try to put those pictures together and put them in a video if I can. I'm kind of new to the whole video thing. So I'll just have to see if I can put the pictures together in a video. May do that later. Pull the machine out and I'll set the case aside, and we will look back at this case here in a bit. So here's the machine. I tend to name my machines like I do my cars. And I think this is a she. She does not have a name yet, so feel free to comment with suggestions. Her decals on her tray look really good. She does have wear on her decals here, and that's where somebody's, used to actually, used the machine to sew. You can see some pin marks. This is her light. There's some dirt there. Her tension. I'm sure I'll have to clean that up and play with that. Her stitch length. She does have reverse. Bobbin tensioner. This is her on-off light. Her bobbin winder. Spool pin looks really good. Usually when I have a machine shipped to me, I ask them, particularly a Featherweight, I ask them to take this spool cap, whatever you want to call it, plate off. But this machine, I was told, has sat in the bottom of the closet since the 1960s. So I decided not to ask them to remove this and package it up in a separate, bubble wrap little box inside the case, because I was afraid that this screw might be seized up, one, and they might strip it, or two, they might slip and maybe scratch this Japan finish. So I took a chance with this one, and as you see, let me pull that felt up. The spool pin is great. The problem with shipping is if the carrier or the postman or the FedEx guy or UPS guy flips this over, or they throw the box and this hits the upper top of the case, it can snap these pins. And I had a white Featherweight several years ago that it snapped loose from this plate, and I tried to JB weld it back, and it was just okay, but it still wasn't nice and firm. And you want these to be, the pin to be fairly firm. Let's go around this way. So hand wheel, of course, this is your disengage to wind your bobbin. She's a dirty girl. This is her receptacle for her plug, 3-prong. Let's go on around to the motor. So there's 2 places for lube, and as you can see, we've got gunked up lube here, and I'll be cleaning that up. There's 2 places for motor brushes here, and there's a second motor brush opening here. You have to be careful when you open those, because these are Bakelite. They're plastic tops, slotted. And I have replaced brushes in Featherweights before. Some people say that the original Singer brushes are a lot better. So if I open this and I look at them and they're good, I'm going to leave them. I'm not going to replace them. Again, I need to clean this machine up. Decals look good here on the back side. We've got the Singer Manufacturing Company on the back. Let's go around here. Here's our tray. There's a couple of scratches. Nothing bad. Here's her scroll faceplate. The neat thing about this machine is this black side presser foot lever. Like the attachments. This machine was manufactured September 19th, 1945, or that's when the serial number was issued. While she's not a black side faceplate machine, she's the scroll plate, but I think it's pretty neat that she's got the black side lever here. I'm going to lift this up. I have not looked under here. Whoa, she's a little dirty and going to need some cleaning. Haven't popped out the bobbin case. This is the original bobbin case. So it's good to have the original bobbin case and not have to worry about trying to find a replacement. Set it aside. And so didn't look at the bulb. I will be replacing the bulb with a LED bulb. So that's the machine. Let's look at the manual again real quick, and we'll end back with the case. Like I said, this manual doesn't look like it's been used. And what I wanted people to see is it does tell you how to thread and how to, you know, put your bobbin in, how your needle goes. But I want to get back here to the back. The thing that I think might be neat later is instructions for using your attachment. So there's that hammer foot. Tells you how to use that little hammer. Here is the adjustable hammer. The binder that I'm so interested in, that I want to try to learn to use. So there's a lot of information in here, and maybe I'll do a video later where we just talk about the manual. But I'll set it aside. I want to go back to the case. So I'm going to set the machine down. Oh, another thing I didn't mention real quick, her stitch regulator's black. It's not got an outline, or it's not silver or chromed like the earlier one. So that's, you know, a sign of her being post-war. They use, you know, the black and the black side finish because of, it's just what they had. You know, they weren't able to do the chrome work and stuff during the war. So that's another thing on this 1945 machine that's different. So back to the case. Let's look inside of it. It's dirty. It's very dirty. But it's got its original cardboard that came from the factory in here. I'm not going to lift it out right now. I'll probably glue this little piece in to keep it from pulling out anymore. It's a pretty good looking case. The lining's still in it, which is good. I'll probably do some reinforcement glue here. Let's look at the other parts of it. So again, the handle with the D-rings. This side. The back with the hinges. Does have a little couple of corners with some wear. You can actually see the wood under here. Let's look at the bottom. There's its 4 feet. Looks good. I've seen some of these where all this covering is just stripped off, and people have had to, you know, paint the cases and find it, or I've actually seen contact paper on them and different things. Just wanted to lift the latches one more time before we go. So the keys, they do work. You put them in, you turn, you can take them out, and it locks your case. So that's nice to have a set of working keys. It's nice just to, you know, if you could just have one, you know, working key to your machine. But I will come back to you, and after I get my list of what I need to clean and how I'm going to clean, may do the case separately. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.